there'll be a fledgling attempt at building a sky elevator, but there's also a smaller uh, space station, kind of like the International Space Station of sorts, around the top.
Hmm.
I mean, around, in orbit.
Orbiting,
Around.
yeah, orbital, yeah.
Yeah.
An
So,
orbital space station.
yeah.
Okay,
What will be basically get you down planet side.
okay. Yeah, I will be
That's what
a
we
newly
will start it.
arrived. I will play a
It-
newly.
yeah. Now you can either be whatever capacity I will follow. You know what I mean? Whether you're a priest or some kind of a security, or whether you're some kind of a
Right.
you can expand out from there, or you're a miner
So
or
I'll be a newly
whatever.
arrived cop uh, uh, who has been sent to do a tour here, tour of duty here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that may or may not have been a positive move in my career, right? I might be.
Yeah.
I
It
don't know
was
if I've
maybe a
been.
lucrative
I don't know
move.
if I've been sent out here because I was reprimanded, or if I've been sent out here because I'm a good cop. I don't know yet. Haven't. I don't. I
I
honestly
mean,
don't.
there's probably some filthy lucre invested in it, because I mean, word. Anyway, I'll expound upon that in game. I'll go ahead and start this.
Yeah,
Start this
and I'll
subject.
think of a name here.
Yeah, yeah. You can just introduce it as we play. All right. Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. It's me, Dell, and the esteemed Jason Graham is going to be run by myself in the fifth playtest session of Space of Japan. Uh, we're going to Mars this time, ladies and gentlemen. So buckle up. It's a bumpy ride. Actually, the ride is already at its terminus. And Jason, your character is looking at the doors slide open onto the Martian landscape from the shuttle that had just landed on the tarmac. And you see this red orange expanse, rocky expanse off of the. This scenario will go through orientation, planet side, um, for your duties here on the tour that you've signed up for. There is Kerr is behind you. Is forward that way. He says, breathing into his comm. You've already got your helmet,
Hmm.
your space.
What was it? You locked up. What was the name of this person?
Kerr.
Kerr.
He's yeah. He was your contact point up at the orbital
Okay.
and brought you down on the shuttle. There's another
He's
pilot
the
on the
he's
shuttle.
the police
Yes.
liaison officer.
Yeah. We'll get you situated over there.
All right, Kerr.
Let's
I
head that
will.
way. He kind of points.
I will
You
head.
notice he's got his sorry.
Yeah, no.
He's in full gear. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in basically my civvies right now as I'm just
Yeah.
arriving at the work facility. Will have my ID badge. I will carry my authorized baton. And don't know what kind of weapons they may or may not equip us with here, but I always have a nightstick, so to speak, that I carry, an
Yeah.
authorized nightstick.
Okay.
And
Now,
I'll go where he points.
as you step off, you notice the gravity isn't. Uh, is almost Earth gravity, but not quite. So
Right.
there's a little bit of a bound to your lift, and he lands beside you a little bit with a rock as he hops out of the shuttle and flicks his arm up in the direction.
So, Kerr, what's the story here, Kerr? What can I expect from my tour here on Mars? Who are the people to know? Who are the people to not know?
Yeah, a little bit of a freeze up. What can you expect during your tour?
What can I expect
A
here on
little, it says
Mars? Yeah.
salt and,
Who do
yeah,
I
it's a
need
little
to
salt and
know?
pepper.
Who do I need to avoid? Who's a problem? I don't
Yeah.
like to go in without having an idea what's in front of me as a police officer.
Well, I'm sure you'll get the whole layout when we get inside. But as far as how can we say it's a little bit salt and pepper, it's a little bit of chaos. And he laughs. Maybe a lot of chaos for you,
Mm-hmm.
but a little bit of downtime. But we got a job cut out for you. That's why we requisition more help to come planetside because some of these miners can get a little rowdy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of a lot of them sit around bitching and moaning about the facilities as if it's supposed to be pristine or adjacent from wherever they came from. That
Yeah.
damn Bishop Ring,
Well,
New Haven, some of them from.
well, I'm only worried about lawbreakers. They can bitch and moan all they want. Is that against the law here on Mars?
No, it seems to be part and parcel of existence on Mars.
I'll probably do a lot of bitching out here myself. I don't want to be out here
Yeah,
on
I'm
this
just
dust
saying
rock.
it leads to some bit of constant white noise of unsatisfactory buzz
Mm-hmm.
and tension that we have to maintain to keep them in line. So sometimes we have to be a little bit heavier handed.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from the Needle.
Oh, you are?
I'm
Okay,
happy
well,
to get away from the crowds, but I didn't think they'd send me. When I asked for a transfer, I didn't think they'd send me out here. I was thinking I'd get into the orbital city or maybe New Haven. I had hoped
Yeah.
for a step up away from the drudgery of masses,
Yeah.
but
Well, you must have pissed off somebody because they sent you out here. It's a little bit. I've been out here 2 years myself, 2 tours. The money's not that bad.
mm-hmm,
The company pays good, but it's a little bit lawless. So
mm-hmm,
we appreciate you coming on board
mm-hmm,
to help us. The more bodies,
mm-hmm.
the better.
All
All right,
right.
I'll introduce you to the super when we get in here.
Okay.
And you guys have been walking across the tarmac, of course, and he walks up and then punches the code into the door on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes green light. After a second, from red to green, and then hisses and opens up, and steps in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow him.
To the room. You coming?
Yep.
Steps into the airlock chamber. You coming?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he shuts it off, and it cycles through, and then it pops open. And while it's cycling through, and after it finishes or whatever, he's already taken off his hat. All right, his helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do the
And hanging
same.
it up there.
I'll do the same, and I'll look around the quality of the facilities. Make note, of all the important entrances and exits, etc.
It seems you could tell a lot of this place is cobbled together. It seems like even from the outside. There's newer sections and there's older sections.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been piecemealed together and parts have been added over the years. So it's a little bit older tech and newer tech. So it's a hodgepodge Frankenstein outlet. But you walk into the area where the airlock is. It seems to be fairly new and recognizable to what you've seen on Needle and below.
Okay.
Right. So so you feel secure there. I would hazard a guess that you're not in a compromised situation.
Mm-mm.
A little bit easier psychologically to take off that helmet as he moves you into the thing. Come on, let's go down the hall here. It'll be to our right.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads you down the hall and opens the door and set in. And there's 3 or 4 other supposed security men sitting around this table, and they look up whenever whenever the door hisses open.
As I pass them, I'll just
They're in the room
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'll just make note of them with a.
Everybody gives you a little head jack and sits down. Some of them gruff-looking individuals. I don't know how you look yourself, but definitely, definitely looked like maybe a wide array of individuals.
Mm.
Some of them more so professional, other ones that are
Mm-hmm.
more grizzled. Um, of the three that are sitting there, but the whole of you comprise that. Sits down. He goes, I'll let him know that everyone's here. And then he
Mm-hmm.
walks up to the intercom. Um, Kerr does, hits it. We got them in here. They're ready. Everybody's here. And he clicks it off. After he sits down and looks at you, it's a moment of silence before while he's flipping some papers. You notice some old school papers on the desk
Mm-hmm.
where you're more used to tablets, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And looks up. The door comes open again, and a lady walks in. Gentlemen, welcome to our facility. And she slides in. Looks like some of the other guys beside you. They kind of glance at each other.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice that out of your peripheral,
Mm-hmm.
you're not expecting a woman, and she slides in, and she has this folder of papers, and she slides it like in front of her and opens it up and starts looking at each one of you, and like she's flipping through the files.
Mm-hmm.
She says your name, which is
Rance Waldrop. As she looks at me, Rance Waldrop, middle-aged, 42 years old. No ethnicity listed, as I am a mixed race. Hard to tell whether I'm Asian, white, black, Filipino, but I'm mixed.
she lingers on your page a little bit, and you can tell her eyebrow hitches up a second. And Rance Waldrop here. Welcome aboard. How long we got you for? And then she looks at the paper. So far a year. I warned that you may want to stick around a little bit longer.
Is that a Martian year or is that an Earth year, Miss?
Oh, it was from where you signed the contract.
Good.
So
I've already got a few. I've already got a few weeks, months under my belt getting out here. Good.
She laughs and sets the page down, and then she looks at the rest of them, but she says, I'll warn that you'll stick around a little bit longer. The money is not half bad.
Mm.
At this point, you may notice that she has some accoutrement on her that maybe has been shipped here. It is a mining facility, so she's got some earrings,
okay,
and of certain metals that you don't normally see or recognize on Earth so much.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
You're into that, and you know yourself that Mars ships a lot of what they ship in the lucrative business.
You
So yeah. First, I was waiting for you to pop back in. So she goes through the list of everyone at the table, and she goes, "Okay, want to let you know that your contract is sealed for the duration of which you signed it." She glances at you again with a little side smile. You will be expected to uphold your side of the contract for that duration. Extensions to the contract are negotiable and based on performance. Otherwise, terminus and leave. You will have to leave planet side if you're terminated at our discretion and time limit. But you will be allotted a place to stay, albeit with others in some instances. So I would not recommend that course of action to be disruptive or disorderly, as some can be around here. And she looks at Kerr. So mind your P's and Q's. Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's, and everything will be just fine between us. But I have no I give no quarter or no special accommodations to anyone. I expect you to do your job and in a timely and efficient manner,
Mm-hmm.
and not to be yeah, having a brain. When you disrespectful to authority.
Gotcha.
And then she goes, Kirk, show them to their things, and he will address when you need to report to duty. There's no pads and whatever like you're used to on different areas, but
Right.
she shuts the folder, and he gets up and he goes, ma'am, and she stays up and walks away. She didn't introduce herself, but if you did notice that on her, there was a goldish colored, copperish colored name badge that said Bennett on it. He goes, everyone up, follow me. I'll take you to quarters. Expect to get your day done immediately.
Yeah, so I'll walk over to the
Set up
corner
on
of the
now.
desk and tap the papers and kind of turn them around. So can we expect this? Everything here is tangible? What the hell?
It's tangible.
Don't tell
You
me
get your
we
money.
have to do things in triplicate.
He looks at you and smirks. If you don't find these accommodations suitable or to your tech level, sir, you may send in a complaint to HR.
Holy
And
shit.
he turns on his.
So
turns
while
on his
he's
heel
saying this, I make a
follow me.
paper airplane out of the top page and float it across the room. Yeah, you can bet on that.
Okay. He stands up, shakes his hand, and eyes you and then eyes the other ones, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there are smirks that kind of, and held back laughter
Mm-hmm.
from a couple of the other guys as you do that.
Mm-hmm.
He clears his throat. Get up, follow me.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get straight to orientation.
Mm-hmm.
It's down this room here. The sergeant to get you all mustered up and ready to go.
Where do I get my
Now,
notebook and my pencils for this orientation, sir?
Yeah, well, you have to go to the tool crib. They got supplies of those if you need them. But with you, I suspect that you might not. I'm surprised that you know how to write, sir.
Yeah,
And
I'm beginning to suspect I'm gonna forget real quick how to write.
he stands up. Now let's go. He's standing in a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
As it opens up, it's almost like he's holding the elevator door for you,
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of you to get out. Let's go down this way, Sergeant, to get you all orientated and mustered up and give you your orders.
Yeah.
There's no time. You're all competent individuals. So he said, you're all competent. He glances at you, individuals according to your applications and contracts. And he
I'm
kind
gonna,
of shifts the paper in his hand.
as I situate. Oh, so we're already at orientation.
No, well, I mean, he was.
Oh,
Yeah, well, yeah. You're walking down there. We'll just fast
okay.
forward to the orientation.
I'm gonna
It's
be.
just
I'm gonna
like rock
find
and
the
roll.
youngest snot-nosed greenhorn recruit here among these guys with me, and sidle up to him, and kind of nudge him as we're listening to this asshole as we're walking down the hall, and I'm gonna kind of lean down and say, "Listen, kid. I hope you like doing paperwork because you'll probably be filling out lots of my reports and things for me. So just be aware of that."
He kind of looks up at you.
No,
and he's one of the
there's
three.
no
that-
debate here, kid. And I tap my nightstick. I've seen kids like you come and go. You'll be best served to be doing paperwork.
Maxie, they call me Maxie.
Max?
It's nice
No,
to meet you.
I think
and he
I'll call you
offers a
kid.
hand.
And I ignore his handshake. I kind of, as he sticks it up to
He
me.
lets it linger a little bit and then drops it after he realizes you're not taking the bait. In fact, he drops it down and then brushes his hands together like he meant to do it, and he sticks his hands in his pockets awkwardly. As you're standing in there, and then are you through with your discussion? The sergeant says,
Maxie, are you done?
he looks over to Maxie and then backs up at you. His eyes just go right back up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I need to give you your work detail for the day. Seems like you two guys are buddies. So I'll pair y'all up.
Okay.
You need to go into the market district. When he hands on there is generally the busy time is around the shift when people go to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
There is a food court there, as well as some minor shopping areas, some trading vendor staffs. But it is a high traffic area, so buckle down. There's going to be two other men there that are already stationed. You check in with them, and they'll tell you where to go. You other two over there, and he looks at the other two guys that are standing there. You guys are a little bit older like you. One of them is probably about 32, and the other was about around your age or so. 28 to 32 somewhere.
Well, I'm 40. I'm 42, so they ain't around my age. I'm 42.
No, I mean the second guy.
Oh.
Of the two that are opposite you, one of them's anywhere 28 to 32,
Gotcha.
and the other one looks around your age.
All right.
Okay, so he sends them off on a detail. He goes, after you detail, report back here in 4 hours, and we will I'll assign you elsewhere for the evening.
4 hours. All right. So I take Maxie. I kind of nudge Maxie. Let's head to the quartermaster and get some gear here, Maxie. And
Okay.
I follow the striped lines on the floor and the walls that point you to the commissary, point you to the medics, and I just follow the colored codes until I get to the quartermaster. And as I approach this secured facility, bulletproof glass, to some guy sitting behind it, I'll bang the glass as I come around, and I'll lean down to speak through the hole. We're gonna need I'm gonna need a sidearm for myself. Maxie here is gonna need paperwork, clipboard, pens, pencils, and a nightstick for Maxie here.
The guy's lingering on a teleprompter behind himself or whatever, and he holds up one finger, and then goes over and clicks it off and turns around. What you need to, new recruits, huh? Let's and he moves over directly. What's your names? Yeah, after you give him his name,
Right.
he'll pull slide it over.
Yep.
And set it in front of you. This is what you've been requisitioned. I expect to have it back in good, if not better, condition by the end of your term. If you have any mechanical problems with it, you can bring it back, and we will see about a replacement.
Okay. I'll head to the locker room to change into my uniform and get my belt on and situated. I'll eyeball the locker room pretty well, and then I'll make sure Maxie's looking all right, and I'll tell Maxie again. So, kid, here's the deal. For your career future, it's best you let me handle most of the talking. You let me handle most of the action, and you track this. You're going to be writing these reports, and I'll teach you. I'll show you the ways. I'll show you the pathway to get to 42-year-old cop.
Okay. Yeah, you notice the just a retcon when you were putting on your suit. It's slate gray. It doesn't fit all that well. The tailoring of it is a little bit off compared to what you normally experience at the needle and whatnot. So it's a bit haphazard in its measurements and whatever. It looks like it's been made on site, as it were. He goes, Maxie looks up at you, and I don't like the way you're talking to me, but right now you can lead the way. But and then he kind of shuts up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Yeah, I say, well, Market District, kid, you heard we have a 4-hour shift in the Market District. Let's check in.
Okay, I'm following. And he kind of hits his hand on the side of the wall. You'll notice a little bit hard. As he pulls him right beside you, he glances up at you and demurely, moves his eyes to the side whenever if you take note. You follow down to the Market District. He seems to be a little bit pouting and huffy. Not saying much on the way there. But you'll hear him audibly kind of breathe out or whatever, sigh. Elongating. It's just through the process of tuck and tail that he's going through. Get to the Market District, and it opens up wide, and there's this huge dome above it that is transparent and letting some of the Martian sunlight filter through. Even though a lot of it, they need a window washer pretty bad. It's covered with dust, Mars dust on the outside, so it has this eerie orangish glow on the interior of this domed area, and it's pretty expansive.
Yeah.
It seems to like be, at least in this area, a central hub of activity. As you see other entrances from other hallways leading out to, the spokes of other habitats in other areas. But you do see quartered in a center, clumped in a center, it looks like a row of shops, and maybe you smell food, get a whiff of that. There are at least about 20-30 people milling around, and they're all in orange jumpsuits. It doesn't require any kind of you do see your other two station guards over on the other side, and they seem to be chatting it up together, not spaced out. Right?
Okay, I'll nod in that direction. Say, here's our contacts, Maxie, and I'll kind of step in front of him and hustle over to these guys. I'll give them a little high-pitched whistle before I get to them to make sure they see us coming.
They look up and then give you a head jack and pull you over.
I walk up. I say, "I'm Waldrop. This is the kid. What is it we're looking for around here? What's our primary problems? Shoplifting.
Okay.
What are we looking?
Yeah,
what are we looking for here?
Yeah, you think of it from the minor misdemeanors all the way up to scuffles in general. Every once in a while, somebody may break out and try to shiv somebody. So we have had spilt blood in here, but normally you're going to get some fisticuffs as some lift items. So we're here to make sure primarily the vendors get a square deal, and that the workers stay living and get back to their jobs.
All right.
Just you got your comms on, and he is hanging right there. Keep them live, and we'll quarter up over here.
Okay.
What do you two guys want to go to? Any glances?
So I'll just start a foot patrol around the Market District, watching for shoplifting, watching for trouble, primarily keeping an eye on the looking sharp. And I'll say this to Max as we watch. I want to catch better than misdemeanors, kid. So let's keep a close eye on those that look like they might be dealing in contraband.
Okay. And he can't almost wait to get away from you for a little bit of solace and to suckle himself back into some feeling of confidence, seemingly so. He looks up at you, good. Okay, I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I see anything. And he storms off a little bit, and
that kid's in trouble.
Shoulders, yeah. And then what they gave you basically crowd control. Okay, so it's more of a hard pellet that would hit somebody out, but nothing that could pierce this is typical. Nothing that could pierce any kind of
Yeah,
walls
I
or whatever.
generally
That
use my
compromise the habitat.
baton
Yeah,
to
yeah,
subdue. Yeah.
um, yeah.
I
And
don't have a problem with
everyone,
cracking a skull and cracking a knee and cracking a rib. It doesn't bother me at all.
are assured in that fact. You do notice something to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Someone pushes someone else
Mm-hmm.
that's supposedly tried to cut in line just as you start your deal. It's at some kind of a food stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some guy walks into the other one, pushes him back, and he hits his ass on the dirt and slides a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dirt floor. It's like the Martian floor
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm.
It powders up a little bit, and the guy gets up and brushes himself off and takes a swing at the other. Contacts, and the line itself breaks apart a little bit and forms around.
Mm-hmm.
You can see off in the distance the guards that you just left, which you're
Okay.
closer to now.
Yeah.
Look at you. One of them, like he stutter steps to run, and then looks up at you.
Mm-hmm.
But the two guys are going at it right now, and
So I'll
going at
break
each
up
other.
the makeshift circle that these miners would have made around this little fist fight. So I'll
Yeah.
step into the circle and I'll watch for a little while, let them wear themselves out, and then whichever one appears to have the upper hand, I will approach with a baton and crack him on the back of the leg.
Okay, the guy that actually fell on his ass is having the worst of it right now, even though he came back into. He was getting. I mean, some blood was coming up with the other guys on top.
Yeah, I'll
of
let
him.
them fight. I'm gonna let them fight and scuffle, wear themselves out.
Yeah, I said the other guy was on top of him. Some blood came up, so it's an easy opportunity
Yep.
for you to just crack him on the back of the head, and
Yeah.
then his head goes to the side,
Yeah.
and he falls over on the other one limp, and the other guy's underneath him right there. You see, he's got a busted lip
Yeah.
in a
And
chip tooth.
I'll lean down and I'll kind of I'll pull a zip tie and I'll
Eat my fuck me.
the aggressive guy I'll
Yeah.
zip tie his hands behind his back and I'll lean down close to the other guy and say, "See, all you needed was a little lunch, and now look at you, both of you." And
Mano a mano, huh? Get him off of me.
yeah, and not yet, not yet. And then I'll say, "Bring those hands out where I can see them." And as he hopefully obliges, I will use the zip ties on his hands before I pull this guy
You're
out.
just going to sit there and watch. But you like watching, don't you? And he pulls his hands out from underneath there because it was a bit pinned.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got nothing. Get this son of a bitch off. And he's trying to push him and roll him.
Right,
Which the other guy's a little bit bigger, you know what I mean? And this guy's kind of wiry and
right.
little hawk nose, and he's trying to turn.
Yeah, I'll let the body lay on him until he does what I say. Put your hands up. Bring them together. Make a yeah.
Okay,
Palm to palm.
He
Let's go.
stops
Palm to
pushing.
palm.
He stops pushing, and then just here.
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
And then I'll zip tie him at the wrists, and then I'll
He's shocked when
Right.
you do this.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy's laying on top of him. See this tricking
Mm-hmm.
bunch of bastards, and he's saying,
calm down.
is the other guy.
You're gonna get your lunch. It just won't be here in the beautiful market square. You had a chance to have your lunch here and eat it in the market district, but now you assholes are gonna be detained for a little while. So I roll the big guy off of
nothing.
him,
He jumped me.
and I help him to his feet, and I get on the intercom and tell these guys, come grab these two guys. Let's let them sit it out in a cell for a few hours, and I'll walk. I'll wait for Maxie or somebody to come take this guy, and then I'll help the big guy up that I clocked in the back of the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you do? Yeah. He's pretty much dead weight right now,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously for the Martian thing is not as, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as heavy as it would be like on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So you grain.
Mm-hmm.
You haul him up like a sack of grain, but he's
I
pretty
look
much
at
dead
him.
weight. He's out
I
of
kind
it.
of hold him up, and I'll pinch his face and kind of smack him a little bit, wake him up. And as
Okay,
he
you know this
zones
blood-
in, I'll just say, "Are you there? Can you see me? Can you hear me?"
He's shaking his head a little bit. You see his eyes kind of roll forward.
Mm-hmm.
You see where the blood from the crack on the back of his thing, he
Mm-hmm.
rolls forward. You know what I mean?
I'll look
Phil,
down
you
at
got a
his
freaking
lapel. Does,
headache.
does he have a work badge or a name on his lapel?
Yeah, it's Smith's.
Smits, you hear me, Smits? Can you understand me, Smits?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
And this
See,
guy was the.
I want you
Yeah,
to focus. Can you see me? You see
I
okay?
see your ass. Is he the
Yeah.
one that clubbed me?
Look me over real
Yeah, he
good.
looks
I
down.
want you to look me in the eye. I want you to see my face. I'm Waldrop. I'm a new cop around here, and there's gonna be no more of this bullshit. You hear me? Or are you gonna keep getting clocked on the back of the head?
No, I'll remember your name.
Mm-hmm. And with that, I'll
Waldrop.
kind of hand him over to one of these two partners. Say, just put him in the cell for a few hours. Feed him some of the shit for lunch that we
Oh,
have.
my supervisor's gonna love that.
Hmm.
Late again, and
Which
he
which
huffs, but he's
supervisor? Who
tired.
said this? Smith
No,
said
he
this.
did. Yeah, Spence. Well, my supervisor's gonna love this when you said sit in there for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Downtime. We gotta get that crank running again. You're gonna send my ass. You hear him mumbling off
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
they're taking him
Mm-hmm.
and turning him around.
All
So
right.
he's doing heavy footfalls as much as possible, and the Martian dirt kicking up a little
Yeah.
bit
I'll look
as they're
around for
leaving him.
Maxie in the crowd of people. Or what's he doing? Is Maxie here? Has he been apart?
Now he's walking over to he's walking over to a stand. It looks like he's
Mm-hmm.
window shopping at this. He walks for a second, then he stops and
Mm-hmm.
he looks over. He's rubbernecking
Mm-hmm.
over a couple of people
Mm-hmm.
to what they're looking at. But it seems to be some kind of a stand, like a rare metal stand.
Rare metal
It's,
stand.
the
Okay.
hawker, is doing that. So
Okay.
could be
Did
anything from
he does he
jewelry to
appear to have
gems,
even
rocks.
noticed? Does he appear that he's even noticed the commotion?
No, I mean, if it did, he purposely took a
Okay.
blind eye to it,
All
but it
right.
doesn't appear.
Okay.
You know,
So I'll make my way through the crowd. And kind of sneak up on him and kind of give him a bump from behind and say, "What's going on here, Maxie?" And I'll look over what he's looking over. Are you shopping for your girlfriend, Maxie?
he starts. He's a little bit. I'm just making sure that you said no contraband.
Mm-hmm.
That
What you see here, Max?
we're
So
gonna
I'll
get
whisper.
lifted.
I'll whisper in his ear. So what contraband do you see here, Maxie? You see something?
Well, I don't know. I'm just making sure that they don't get that they don't lift anything. You know, there's two
Mm.
people there that look suspicious,
Mm-hmm. All
and
right.
it's just two. I mean, it's two guys over there, and
Yeah.
they're looking.
Right.
But
I kind of turn around where I'm kind of where he can see me, and I'll
yeah,
look at my uniform and I'll look at his uniform and say, you might do that from a distance, Maxie. They're not going to lift anything while you're standing right in front of them. How long you been a
okay.
cop, Maxie?
This this is this is my first this
Yeah,
is my
that's
first
what I thought.
outing.
That's what I
I
thought.
It
All right.
doesn't mean I didn't go through basic. I know what I'm doing here.
Oh, you
They
do.
wouldn't have gave me this shot if I didn't. I was at the top of my class. That's what it was.
And surveillance in a market district to present yourself to those you think might be up to no good. Okay, so
All right.
I
Look,
shake my head at him. Say, kid,
I just wanted to deter them. Is what I was trying to do.
oh,
That's what I was trying to do.
then you've done it. Then you've done it. Well, then congratulations. All right. So I look about and I'll say, well, then I'll leave you to it. You've got him under control, and I'll continue my foot patrol around the market district.
Yeah, puts his thumbs in his little belt loops or whatever. I've got him under control here. You can go on over there. They won't do anything when I'm around. You can trust me on that. And he kind of brims up a little bit and does a little smile as you turn. There are several more groups and thongs. There's several more groups of people that come in, and it seems like that they're coming in off shifts and in batches. You know what I mean? And they kind of congregate together. It never really reaches a throng that from you being on the needle and Earth as far as that level, right? But you do notice, in general, that the shopkeepers seem more guarded over, are taking paths to keep at a distance the merchandise, you know what I mean? Then it's not fully upfront or handable. A lot of times the people have to go, can I see this piece or whatever? On those shops, the way they're laid out, you know, as far as like areas where they have to kind of come in one at a time, you know what I mean, instead of bulked up. But it's fairly uneventful here. For the rest of it, there's no more than a minor scuffle or two. The guards, the contentment of 4 guards, but you could see if it was only 2 that it might have been a slip through or, you know,
Right.
As far as a couple of pieces missing or whatnot. But you know, yeah, you're done with your term, and the other guy approaches you, Bill. He says, "Really appreciate you, Waldrop, for coming in and that kid you got with you. You did a good job breaking up that thing. And you can see it gets a little boring. You can tell he's about your, you know, your age or your time. It gets boring around here, but with 2 of it kept our hands busy.
Okay.
But you
Yeah,
definitely
it's
give us
just
some breathing
all in
room.
a day's work, Bill. All in a day's work. And then I'll head. I won't make much small talk with these guys. I'll just acknowledge it and say, yeah, all in a day's work. And then I'll look toward for Maxie, see if he's aware that we're moving on to the next phase of our shift. And then I'll head back toward, our supervisor for the next shift.
Follow the lines back, and it's fairly easy punch toward that area. You get there, and he goes, "Oh," and he's sitting down at a desk. And he looks up. Perfect. Come in here. I need to get you guys over to the mine shaft ASAP. There seems to be some difficulties going on there, so I want you to monitor that. A little bit unusual, I know, but keep your eye out. Disruption, and the supervisor seems to think that there's potential for mutiny, as it were, in his little area of the facility. So follow this, and he lays out this paper to you. This will show you how to get there. It's a little bit off the beaten path, but he looks over at the kid, who's Max is kind of perched behind you a little bit. He's taking a second to you. So he'll stand to your right, a little bit like 2 steps behind. He goes, "You kid, go with him." He looks up at you.
Yeah, I look over this this map, and then I'll turn to Maxie, and I'll walk up to him, and I'll stick it on his chest. Here's our directions, Maxie. Why don't you lead the way on this, since you're
He
such a
clambers that.
veteran?
He grabs him. Okay. I'll get us there. I'll get us there, and his eyes shift over to the to your direct supervisor. And says, "Okay, follow me." So it makes a little show up.
And I let him get a few steps up, and I'll look at my supervisor, and I'll kind of smirk. Yeah, this kid's good. And I'll follow him out.
He raises an eyebrow and shakes his head and goes back to writing some papers. You know what I mean? But that smirk is returning kind. As he walks out, Max is leading the way. And for a second there, it looks like he's got the map to the side. He stops and orientates himself. Goes like that. Okay, if we're here, we go that way. And then you almost bump into him because he stops, you know what I mean? Like looking both ways. Okay, now let's go down this way. You follow him along the path. There's stop and stutter moments, but he gets you there. You reconnoiter that he actually went off the beaten path and back onto the beaten path to get there. Right.
Right.
Before he actually shows up, and he looks up, and there's a big marquee scrolling across the top of the main entrance.
Okay.
You can hear machinery inside, and like drilling machinery
Mm-hmm.
and mining, and it opens up, and it's a lot wider door that opens up, right?
Okay. Okay.
And there's actually ruts and tracks that go through this door a lot. So they've been dragging things in and out of this
Okay.
place for whatever. And what you see when you get in, it's almost like the rock underneath your feet. It goes right to the Martian surface. It's still encapsulated
Mm-hmm.
in breathable air. It's almost like you're inside of a silo that is above you,
Mm-hmm.
but a rather large one. And there's a main drill section in the center of this area
Okay.
that that's going and turning, kicking up a lot of dust, Martian dust. It's just like coated the workers, and some of them have face shields
Mm-hmm.
down, but they're streaked with sweat and
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll
as
look
they
about.
constantly try to clear the dust and sweat and stuff.
Yeah, I'll look around standing next to Maxie, and I'll say, "Well, let's find the foreman, find out what the trouble is."
Okay, you the most obvious guys is the guy up over a little overhang that looks over this area
Yeah.
down in this pit where they're drilling,
Mm-hmm.
and you see him throw his arms around and he's yelling down
Mm-hmm.
with a bit of a megaphone at different workers.
Mm-hmm.
You over there, move that, take this, doing things. But he's out over that little catwalk
Mm-hmm.
that almost oversees and in circles,
Okay.
wraps around this main drill portion that goes down into the hole, and it's turning the heat you can see on the bit of the drill,
Mm-hmm.
and you can almost smell it sulfuric.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a couple of people look at you when you go in. I'd say that there's immediate face shields to your hanging there and protective, equipment,
Yeah.
as it were, in case you wanted to.
Yeah,
Access
I'll
point.
grab one off the wall, and I'll grab another one for Maxie. And as we're walking over to the foreman, I'll hand one to Maxie. You may need this, kid, and I'll affix it to my head, but up, so the
Yeah.
shield's up. As I
Gotcha.
walk up to the foreman, hey, you've got trouble here.
Oh, yeah. So you finally listened to me, huh? Some damn times it takes 3 days to get somebody out here.
Well,
look, this is a situation I'm having. We're trying to fix the rotor on this drill. We can't go so long before it overheats. It's the coolest system this jacked up. I'm down men. One of my men hadn't come back from his lunch yet. Or two of my men hadn't come back. Yeah, two of them. And he looks down there and
Yeah, I look at him and I kind of smile. I look at him and I kind of smile. Is one of them named Smits?
He looks at you curiously. Yeah, why?
Because they've been
He's my
apprehended.
mechanic.
I put them in the cooler for a few hours, cool them off. If that's your problem, don't worry. We know right where they're at. They'll be out later. Is that all you got?
I mean, he's a troublemaker, granted, but I needed his ass in here to fix this coolant system.
Yeah.
I guess you've drawn him in the cooler.
Yeah, that's it.
Just my luck.
Yep.
He needs to tone himself down and stop causing off the ruckus. It's just it'll shut us down here.
Yeah.
If we don't get this, it looks like it's going to be a long night. But in general, look, you see those guys down there? This place has been heating up, obviously, from the machinery, and we can only run it in segments before we have to stop and let it cool down. So it's been getting a little hot and heavier here, and I can't afford to let them take more breaks than they need to, even though they do, when we have to shut down. But a lot of times we're doing things to try to repair
Mm-hmm.
and keep the machinery working here.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't afford to do it, and I'm looking at a longer shift tonight with a bunch of grumpy assholes.
Mm-hmm.
So I need your presence here more than anything to make sure that nothing goes awry, because I can just feel it in my bones.
So I look at
We
Maxie
we
and I
got to
say,
have this skip of the ore out by the time that the freighter leaves planet.
all right. So I look at Maxie and I say, well, Maxie, let's make ourselves comfortable. Be prepared to respond if there's any trouble. I'll go position myself where I have a pretty good view of the area,
Yeah,
and
and then,
I'll flip the flake shield down and just watch to see if there's any trouble, any commotion.
yeah. I mean, you could probably just from where you are, there is a catwalk that walks around. You know that where he stays, supervisor. It is a very good vantage point
Mm-hmm.
where you can see all sides of this. It's not obscured
Mm-hmm.
by the central piece of equipment that's dropping through. But there really isn't a lot of places that you can get to ground quickly.
Gotcha.
There's here, and you have to go across on the other side to
Right.
exit down.
Right.
All right.
So
But
before I walk off to give him some space, I'll say to him, "What kind of trouble can these guys cause you?" When you say trouble,
they,
they can't really get to you from here. We can't readily get to them, not easily anyway. What kind of trouble can they cause you?
oh well, I mean, they're holding a lot of potentially deadly weapons with these in their hands. Anything can be utilized as a weapon. You know that yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
I
No, but I mean, what would they be most likely to do here to disrupt you?
wouldn't be just a little bit steamy in here. It looks like there seems to be a coolant leak or something like that. It's causing more of a smell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pneumatic oils smells. The dust is just obscured in everybody's placemate.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already had to break up. I've already had to break up 2 fights from hot-headed guys that have been overworked for too long
Mm-hmm.
and without too much of a break. And most of these guys were from off planet, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and hadn't been home in 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just only progressively gotten worse over this time period.
Okay.
We just need to hold it together. So make sure that I try to, when they get tools from the tool crib, and he gestures down there in the corner, and you see a gated off area and a guy sitting behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And issues is good. We take down their names so we can track back anything if somebody misuses a tool, and everybody's responsible for the tools they grab. Otherwise, they owe the company.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks apart for a second, and looks down. Just make sure nothing. Just help me hold down the fort until
Mm-hmm.
until he looks at it. We need to have this out. We need to have this last production out by last cycle, which is like in 6 hours,
Okay.
and load it up on the shuttle to get to the freighter and get out of here. And I'm already 2 men down, and he says it. He kind of glances at you. So if you feel like picking up a pickaxe or a shovel,
Mm-hmm. I look at
wouldn't even
Maxie.
know,
I look at Maxie and I say, "Well, Maxie, is this in your job description to pick up gear and help miners?"
nope.
Right. And I'll look at the supervisor and say, "That's not in our job description. Sorry."
Sorry. Well, don't be surprised if it gets a little bit more hot and heavier since we get our mechanics down,
Right.
and this machine's only going to worsen.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to keep it up and running to make the load out. But other than that, just make sure everybody stays in place, and feel free to give them a little urgent to keep on task.
Yeah, I'll flip the face shield down and then I'll watch and see how this shift goes. Keeping
Okay.
my eyes open.
You going to do it from the crow's nest, as it were, or are you going to hit? If you go down bottom, it's just going to be a big walk around.
Right.
with,
Yeah. So I'll tell Maxie I'm going to go down and do the walk around. Maxie, you can keep in a bird's eye here, unless you want to walk around, Maxie, and I'll keep the bird's eye. I am the older man, so
Yeah. There seems to be there's Maxi Maxi. Oh, I'll walk around.
Okay.
Uh,
Yep.
Now you
When
may
you
say
need,
there's a
if you
little
need a break,
trepidation.
if you need a break, kid, just holler and we'll swap spots.
Need a break. You hear the supervisor said that, and he shakes his head,
Hmm.
and he gets back to calling. It blurts and squawks
Hmm.
real loud over the loudspeaker he's got in his hand. Anyway, it is the din of in here is amplified, being in a Silo S area. The grumbling, the rocks tumbling out. There seems to be like lifts that pull up,
Hmm.
like carts of rock
Hmm.
and ore that automatically dump into other carts
Hmm.
that are on the ground, that are on tracks that are pulled out. You know what I mean? As they come up out of this hole, they're dumping,
Hmm.
and then you see workers making sure the dump load is good. One guy standing there making sure it dumps in, and then another guy making sure the load automatically, on the grounded one, gets down to a certain track where it exits out the building in different holes
Okay.
along the line to get to where it needs to go, its destination. But normally they're overseeing this work as well as making sure that nothing impedes that production, right?
Hmm.
Helping it along, keeping it on track. That's what the mass majority of them are doing. But there seems to be that, from your notice on your perch, that a lot of them have to do this heavier, more so than probably would be that should be mechanically necessary.
Hmm.
He's constantly pulling on to dump because it gets kind of hinged up, and if you
Right.
don't do it quick enough, it'll kind of retain some of it and then go up. So it's getting hung up, and there's things laid across haphazardly
Okay.
across the tracks and rails that they've got to scoop out
Hmm.
rocks or whatever because they're kind of inset to where these tracks go.
Hmm.
So it's basically, but the guys are humping it.
Okay.
You,
Okay.
you see that, and they're constantly wiping stuff,
Hmm.
cursing. It just echoes up throughout there. So there's a lot of discontent
Hmm.
that you could see manifest, improve what our boy is saying.
Right.
Um, Now, the first 30 minutes, it's just the din of this goes down. If you left your face shield up, it's going to start to choke you out a little bit. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? More so than it would, and a light coating on there.
Right.
So you do realize that they need the face shields. But
Yeah.
in this situation, probably if you was on a needle, people would have respiratory.
Sure.
Some of these guys have just bandanas around
Right.
their face, right? They drop down.
Okay.
Um, there's some hacking and coughing as well as cursing and whatnot, but it is you're picking up perspiration on your body
Right.
as you're walking around. Even though there's an updraft of the heat,
Right.
and you can look down at these drills like triangulated on the end of this head, and they will get hot, right?
Yeah.
And even some of the main body of the drill, they'll get hot and they'll have to, and it shuts down the whole mechanism.
Hmm.
And then this time, the guys are really trying to play catch up for the next when it comes back on,
Hmm.
or to work again,
Hmm.
as far as clearing the way of things. And that's their only reprieve. But they look at that as like a way of catching up. But you've seen after the last, like you would say, hour and a half or so that you've been standing up here, that it has gotten progressively shorter intervals between these stops. It's already stopped 3 times.
All right.
Okay. And then you'll see that almost the red kind of dissipate
Hmm.
a little bit. The heat lessens a little bit, still stymy and heated and humid up here, but it will. That's when they kick it back on.
Okay.
It's like the supervisor is turning that switch as soon as he sees it
Sure. Sure.
cool down a little bit.
Okay.
But to your limited estimation, if he keeps going on this path,
Hmm.
you're going to have either severe breakdown or a breakage of the equipment itself.
Right.
But he seems to be caught up in this deadline, this pressure keep to get all this ore out in time.
I might, at some point in the next hour or whatever, walk over and flip my face shield up and kind of yell over the den, you might want to slow the pace or you're going to have bigger problems. But what do I
Telling
know?
you how to
And
do my job.
no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't dare.
Smart
And I flip my face shield back down and go by him and walk along the catwalk, looking at the other side.
I know what I'm doing, and you know what I mean. He sits back up. We get a deadline to meet here. Hurry up! And he's visibly changed himself,
Right.
in his demeanor over the last hour and a half, right? So he doesn't look like he's even to be tested with,
Right.
at least in his mind. Like the company's not going to, throw him in a clink, sure, then let the company go down. You hear these mutterings from him as you leave. Okay. Now, over the next hour or so, he shut down 3 more times, which took about an hour and a half, right? And you'll see him cuss, and you're still walking around now. You've seen Maxie walk around, and he is not as brisk as you would like him to be. In that he lingers, or it's like he's trying to compress information in his head of what he's seeing. You'll see him look at something,
right,
and try to where it could be summarized. So you do see his greenness shine through.
Yeah, I'll walk over to the foreman and say, "Let me borrow that blowhorn."
Okay. Now you've seen him address certain things where somebody get a little bit like shaking a thing or start hitting it with a tool, whatever. He walks over, but it's like his to chill them out. So he's been doing that somewhat effectively. But you grab the blowhorn.
Yeah, and I aim it in Maxie's direction. Yeah, I aim it in Maxie's direction. Maxie, come on up here. We'll switch roles. Take a break.
He looks up at you. It looks like he was about to hit one on the arm with the billy club. I mean the nightstick. And he stops and then he holds it up like that and does shakes up and works his way up there to you.
Yeah, I'll hand the blowhorn back to the foreman, and as he comes up, I'll say, "What's it like down there, kid?"
Well, it's hot as hell, and then he goes like that, because the blast from the heat furnace almost that you've been standing in and sweltering is now encompassing him. I mean, but it may be hotter up here. You sure you want to trade?
Yeah, we'll give you a little break.
Okay.
We'll give you a break, and I'll flip my shield back down and head down to the floor, walking
Watch
about.
them. They seem to be getting pretty nasty out there because they've been cussing at me a lot. Yeah, I had to keep them in line. So watch yourself. He's saying this as you're leaving.
Okay.
And he stands around there a little bit like what? You shove the blowhorn in his hand?
No, in the foreman. Give it back to the foreman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the foreman, he's in his business, so you could just easily set it on the table behind him. But yeah, he looks at it and just goes back at it, barely glances at Maxie. Maxie just starts walking along the catwalk as you go down the stair.
Yeah.
You tell the railing is hotter than you remember it.
Yeah.
But then again, you had just got there.
Yeah.
So it's almost singe-worthy if you hold on to it a little bit, right?
Yeah. Right.
You do feel a slight vibration in shudderings as you go down, and then it gets to the end, and it shuts down again.
Okay.
And you're, God dang, from up above or whatever, and then everybody just almost immediately goes about quicker on the ground floor trying to clean out areas and trying to fully dump, get opportunity while it's down for a second, which is all stays down for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
As you walk there, the guys are moving. One of them is trying to push. It's hard to determine naturally where these rails go as far as the mine carts that he's pushing out. But and you see his face from the streaks.
Right.
You gonna move or what?
Right.
Get out of the damn way! I got to get this. And he's pushing.
Yeah.
You standing there? Or what?
No, I'll let him by.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to.
He grumbles a little bit and pushes it on.
Yeah, and I'll watch to see if there's any tension between the actual miners if they're fighting with each other. But outside of that, can't help them with their job. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They should have been cops.
Yeah. He runs. The other miner runs back or whatever, and a lot of what was cycling through, he comes up and he's prepping the guy that just left. He jogs past you to get to the next one to prep the next one for the dump. That could be the impending dump that's coming. So he's doing that, and he's clearing off and kicking rocks out of the way.
Right.
From there, are you walking around the bottom of this?
Yeah, I'm just walking around the entire thing. Again, keep an eye open in case there's any scuffles between miners, or if there's any miners that are completely, not working.
Yeah, all of them look like it's working. You don't see any feet kicked up from behind a pile of rocks or somebody snoozing.
Right.
I would garner that it's too hot and too sweltering in there to really get any kind of relaxation. Yeah, and the noise at the end is going to keep you up. But yeah, so this is recognizable, and they're just smeared and gritted. When I get this shift over, you hear a lot of dissatisfaction as you're walking around the corner, and then hey, buddy, and then somebody's hitting a wrench on the inside of the chain that is over here. What happened to your friend? And it's the guy in the tool crib. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll walk over to him. I'll flip my face shield up in the noise. And I'll say, he couldn't stand it down here, right? He had to go back up top. And I kind of motion.
Name's Hank. And he's sticking his arms through that little area where he passes the tool like he wants a handshake. But
yeah, I keep my hands in my, by my side, but I nod at him and I say, I'm Waldrop. And I'm yelling as loud as I can, of course.
Okay. He passes the top of it and pulls his hand back. Can I get you anything? Do you need some water?
No.
And he's got his, the thing over the side.
No, I kind of glance at it and I see how filthy and grotesque it is. It's probably E. coli, dysentery. Who knows how they change that water out? So I just go, nah, I'll be all right for now.
I haven't seen you around here before. Where are you from? Are you from? Are you from Earth?
Yeah, I'm from the Needle. Why?
I hadn't been there in so long. It's been like 5 years. I left my wife, my baby girl. She must be near 9 now. And he's starting to reminisce a little bit of about people that you don't know.
Right. I let him know that nothing's changed in that 5 years you've been gone. Don't worry about it. It ain't changed. It'll be the same when you get back. How much longer you have a tour here?
If I can ever get approval to get off, I should have been home a couple of years ago. After the asteroid impact, it just set us adrift. I tried to set her up near the Needle. In fact, it was one of those little islands. I can't remember the name of it. And he's blinking a little bit, and he furrows his brow and puts his hand on his face. I can't recall the name of it. But I hope they're all right, and I hope to get back to them one day, and maybe all the money I'm making here, we can start a new home. That's what I was meant to do. For them, I just hope they're all right. But it's good hearing that nothing's changed, so maybe they're still safe. I don't get word from them anymore. He looks around like that.
I just listen best I can over this den of noise. And I'll kind of watch as he talks to me. I'll look around me to make sure guys are still okay and working and not, half listening to him, moan about his life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if after a little bit, this takes up, if you're willing to, about 10 minutes. It goes on a little bit.
Yeah.
You hear a squawk over the thing in the mouthpiece, the blowhard, blowhorn goes off a little bit. Everything all right down there? You can hear.
Yeah, I'll look up in his direction. Is he pointing at us? I mean, is he looking at us when he says that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll send him a thumb up. I'll just look up in his direction, thumb up.
Okay, and you hear it squawk off and sit down, and then pretty soon, right after that, he's squawking at somebody else.
Yeah,
but yeah, he does linger on you for a little bit, but Hank reaches his hand through and tries to grasp it again. He goes, "It was good. It was good talking to you."
Yeah, I'll fish out.
I gotta get back to work.
I'll fish out of my uniform a card that has my name on it with my badge number, and I'll slide it to him and say, "If you ever need anything, you can contact me, and maybe if I get back before you, I can take word to your family. But keep in touch."
He puts his hand over it almost covertly and like does a side glance, whatever, slides it back into himself. And I'll keep this for sure. But I have to get back to work. But if you need anything, water or anything, I got it over there. And he points to that little orange, you know what I mean, dispenser. I got it. I'll take care of you, buddy. Whatever you need. Now I'll keep my eye out open too. These guys are somewhat sketchy between you and me.
Yeah, I
bet. Then he glances up. He glances up at the super a little bit, and I'll let you at it.
Yeah.
He pulls back.
I'll watch him return to his duties, and then I'll begin to continue my foot patrol around the drill.
Okay. Like I said, the drill had already started back during that thing. Y'all were talking about 10 minutes, right? So it was a little bit obscured. You know, the supervisor, had to rotate around the side to be able to see y'all to go out, but he's constantly moving from here to there. And right now, it's been running a little bit, and these stoppages have become more increased.
Okay.
But right now, you feel a shudder, probably more so sea gravels and pebble on the ground. It looks like some kind of it looks like, the ground's shaking a little bit, and the loose rocks and pebbles that have been thrown about shift a little bit, but you can feel it under you too, even though it's not Earth gravity.
Right.
There's, a little bit of a shift and downward toward the hole or whatever.
Okay.
And this drill pins and warps the whole, like, it wasn't shut down purposely.
Gotcha. It locks up.
Because you hear that wasn't like it locks up, binds. It almost like you can see and feel the heat and the twist of the center of the shaft, and then it's a explosion from the center of the shaft upwards.
Holy shit!
I mean, the drill kind of turns and twists, but you see at the bottom of it was a bulky thing with like these mining bits that were turning. And when it explodes up from the center, there is almost shrapnel-sounding shredding of the metals all the way up that shoots through this catwalk up above. Okay. As well as just ballooning all the Martian dust out inside this little...
I dive to my belly away from the hole, onto my belly, covering up my head. Yeah.
That explanation was trying to just encompass like what happened like instantaneously. But you can hear, you can see, and it washes over you as you're laying in the corner like that, and trying to gather your thoughts. An eerie silence.
Yeah, I'll roll over on my butt, sit up, and look around to see if anybody's, if guys are down, injured, if there's guys.
It's so dense right now on your face shield.
Yeah, I'll call out. I'll flip my face shield up and call out for Hank. As I'm assuming the drill stopped, the noise is less.
Oh yeah, it's like dead silence.
I'll call out to Hank. Hank, you there? And I'll stand up looking for Hank.
There's certain sounds start to come in and ring in. Your ears is ringing in the first place, but as it's clearing up, there's certain sounds you can make out from wailing men. it would indicate that they're injured. Cries.
Yeah, I'll move through the smoke and the dirt, padding around, looking for miners that might be down and injured, looking for Hank. I'll try to look up the shaft to the catwalk, see if I can see Maxie or the foreman moving around up there.
You've worked your way back around where you see the side, almost like your vision is like limited to like maybe 30 foot, maybe, and that's only in like shapes until you really get up there. In like 10 foot, and you see the edge of that 10 foot or so. You see the edge of the tool crib, and when you look inside, Maxie is just kind of Hank is laid up against the back of the tool crib in his seat that was a swivel seat. He's still sitting in it, but it's throwing him up against the back, and there seems to be you see what appears like blood that's come out in big areas that is just coated in Martian dust or whatever. And his head is low to the side and his mouth is open. Eyes are wide.
Yeah, I'll look in at him and then I'll shake my head. Oh,
that card, you see is like still sticking out of his pocket there.
Well, it was nice to know you, Hank. And I'll start moving around now, headed for the catwalk.
Okay.
And looking for a emergency intercom or emergency radio. It's a call down medics and emergency.
Okay. You do have that little Vox on you,
right?
Still, but whenever you're looking around, can't move that far. You hear somebody moving along. It sounds like crawling in front of you, and then all of a sudden there's a scream, a descending scream. Somebody has fallen down the shaft.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. I'm taking it all in, but I'll stop moving and I'll get on the Vox and I'll tell them we've got an emergency, and I'll give the location, tell them we've had a drill seize and we've got people down, people dying. Over.
It crackles and whatnot. You recognize the voice as the other Bill, the guy that you spoke to in the thing. Okay, were you at the mine shaft? Which one?
Yeah, I tell him exactly the location he sent us to. I'll tell him we've had a drill seizure. We've got multiple guys down. I don't know how many dead. I can't. But we're gonna need EMTs. We're gonna need medics.
All right, I'll get to work on that. We'll send out the
and then I'll
EMTs.
I'll cut the Vox, and again I'll start heading toward the catwalk stairwell.
Okay,
and looking up, trying to see up top through all the
and it's just a mask of light. You can't see shit really, but this orange powder everywhere. It's like you're walking through that. It's almost like a curious ether just swimming around you. You know what I mean? Like in the folds and currents, like an ethereal situation. But when you come up on something that about 10 foot, you'll see it. So you know that the shaft is to your left as you're working your way back around, because you heard that guy fall off into it. So you can make a safe bet of the distance you need to stay away from.
Yeah, I'm circumventing as far as away around it to the far wall best I can. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was looking for. You do that. You do see the shaft. I mean, you do see the ladder. It seems to be twisted itself a little bit, but it's still attached. And
I'll grab it with both hands and shake it and give it a good tug to see if it's still attached.
It's still you feel it kind of twisted, but it's still attached. Okay, so it's still solid.
Okay, I'll look up and yell upward. Maxie, you up there? Yelling for Maxie.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. So I start to ascend. I'll start to climb this ladder as quick as possible.
There is a moment where you get up there. You feel it's about 3/4 of the way up to where you previously climbed, and it is twisted and jagged. Your hand gets caught on it and cut. The stairwells, it's like it's missing a section,
a piece,
But the rods and the handhelds themselves are there, but the steps are gone.
Right.
But you can see that it twists off almost at a 45-degree angle from where it used to be above you, like that.
Okay.
So you could still pull yourself up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
get
I'm
to
gonna keep
the
ascending.
catwalk area.
To the catwalk. Yep.
Yeah. There is. You get to the catwalk, and you get on it. It's tilted not only 45 degrees from you, but as you stand on it, it's tilted that way. When you pull yourself up and you look, and you see that the circular part that went out and around this drill is totally shifted, slid, and one of the sides hit the inside chamber of the silo, right?
Gotcha.
But it's going up. You see the drill itself has broken off. I mean, the shaft of the drill has broken off and laying up against the side of the shallow of the silo, and it looks like it's somewhat penetrated to some extent the wall. To what depth of the silo that you're in.
Okay, I'll look around what's left of this catwalk and see if I can see Maxie or the foreman anywhere.
Okay. You make your way around it, which is still is handhelds, thankfully. The foreman seems to be lodged on one of the bars that would keep him from sliding off, even though they were in a space like really widely. You know what I mean, like in 5-foot intervals.
Yeah.
To keep the handrails up, but he is lodged. He's unconscious. But he's lodged. It looks like he's injured somewhat, but there's shallow breathing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull him free, and I'll begin to do basic first aid. I will assess whether he's alive, and check his pulse, and I'll assess whether he's got any broken bones, if he's bleeding anywhere that needs to be dealt with, and I'll begin basic first aid on him.
You see that one obvious thing, he's got one of his arms that was bent and contorted backwards, like it's broken at an odd angle. Right. You can tell it's broke. Okay. Right. So he's laid there, he's shallow breathing. Oh God, and he's coming back to. Yeah,
I'll tell him, to stay calm. You're injured. Everything's there's help on the way, and I'll get on the Vox and tell him we've got the foreman here, and I'll give the location. I'm trying to stabilize him. He looks like he has a broken arm. And then while I'm doing this and talking to him, I'll be looking around for Maxie still in the distance.
Yeah. Maxie, you can't see him from where you are. Granted, you would have to really go a little bit further out to see.
Yeah, I will. Once I secure the foreman, I'll get up and start moving.
You secure him. He's halfway stable. It looks like he had his bell ring. He gets his little cognitive awareness. He's lucid to some extent, and then the pain hits him, and he howls out with his arm. What the hell happened? And he's trying to roll over on his knees to crawl back to the main area,
right,
where he can descend down. But you tell him all this stuff, right? So he's making his way slowly. As you look around the rest of the area, which you just have to rubberneck a little bit, you don't see any form or anything still adhered to this upper level. So you don't see Maxie.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get on the Vox and say it looks like we have a man down. I can't find Maxie. Just let him know we may have a missing, wounded, or dead cop, and I'll give his name and what badge number I have. And then I'll
the red lights are turning in this place here.
Yeah. And I'll go back on the comms again and say, where are those medics? Where are those EMTs? Damn it, Bill.
They're coming. Damn it. We got some guys to come help you too. We got to get these people up out of here. What do you see as far as is anything compromised?
The whole damn place. The drill's broken up top. The catwalk's compromised. The floor caved and is compromised. The wall's compromised. We got to evacuate and get everybody out of here to a secure area.
All right. We'll double down on that. We'll be there post haste. And it clicks off. turns off the Vox.
I'll look for the. Probably won't find it, but I'll look for the bullhorn. See if I can see it about.
No, you
Okay.
don't see it hanging anywhere.
All right.
You did hear him squawking, so he might have let go of it whenever.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
You know. But anyway, the super, he's sufficiently halfway made it back to that at least halfway level.
Mm-hmm.
Not skewed.
Right.
Area of the catwalk.
Well, I'll return to him and help him over to a secure place. Once I've seen Maxie's not up here, I'll return to him and put his arm, pick him up and kind of walk him over to a secure place. Set him down and tell him, "Don't worry, help's on the way. You be thankful you're alive, old man."
How am I supposed to get down from here? It's a hell of a drop.
I wouldn't worry about it. When the EMTs get here, we'll figure all that out. Right now, you just chill.
It's still soupy orange in here. Like I said, just the swirls and everything. You just start to see the red lights cut through them. So it's somewhat settling. The dust is somewhat settling.
I'll reach out to him and give him a shake on the shoulder, hand on his shoulder, and get him to focus. Look at me now. I know you're in pain, but did you see where Maxie went? What happened to Maxie?
Maxie, your friend, the other cop.
When this happened, did you see where Maxie went?
He kind of looks at you, stares up. I think he went over the side.
Damn.
I didn't see him, but out my peripheral. But I'm surprised I didn't. Look at that damn shaft, and he curses himself. We'll never be able to get the load out in time. Mm-hmm. He grimaces a little bit.
Listen, you're lucky to be alive. I would prioritize that you're alive over your quotas.
This will be my damn job. I can't afford to lose time like this. And he looks down and just the sounds, kind of the moaning, the couple of moanings or whatever, and wailings from below. Kind of you see it trigger something in him, and he looks down and looks up to you, and then. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I shouldn't push. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed that drill. And then he looks up at you and he goes, with a downcast, he goes, "Name's Kyle. Yeah, I appreciate you coming back for me."
Right, and I say Rance, and I'll pat him on the knee, and I'll look off into the orange dust, and I'll say, and I look back at him, I say, "Well, at least you have a chance to return to work, a chance to return to your family. Hank down there's, he's moved on to the great unknown."
Hank, but jeez, if as long as some of the guys can make it, is the MT's coming?
Yeah, and I'll get on the Vox and I'll bark out again. Hurry with those medics.
Yeah, about this time you feel the swirl of the orange kind of vacuum out a little bit in direction as you hear the doors open up, and a little light piercing through the bottom of it. So it looks like it has an eerie thing of this.
Right.
Because everything was dark in here except for the red lights that were kind of illuminating.
And I'll meet the first ones through, telling them we've got a man here and we've got men below, but the only way down is through that rickety ladder there. But I'll give them an update as to where we've got potential injured and dying, and I'll point out, of course, the foreman immediately. Okay,
you do that to the most part significantly, as they're hearing you, and the medics are already like they've got these lights, and you can just see them piercing the gloom below, almost an infrared lighting too, and then finding individuals and carting them out. There's been some success with getting them out. I don't know what you're doing with him because that section of the ladder was broken. A guy from below was like, "Is anyone up there? Are you up there?" When you hear this, the vacuous swirl of orange tendrils that had been pulled below seem to stop and hover for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then shift. As it stabilizes with that open door, but it shifts and then shifts upward.
Okay.
So you see that same effect, but it shifts upward, and there's a drastic drop in pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and then a break and a ping and a sucking of sound,
Mm-hmm.
a shifting of that shaft as the inside of that silo wall is compromised
Right.
to the Martian environment,
Yep.
and it just sucks out
Yeah.
all that
Everything.
smoke or whatever, vacuous, like, and you can't hear squat.
Right.
Now, like half of what you was telling, right at the end of it, it just terminated.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these bodies below obviously shift and move. Some of the dead, even, you know what I mean, and some of the equipment moving around, but it's in eerie silence.
Right.
You're still on that catwalk.
Right. I will. I will be saying at the top of my lung, everybody to secure airlock, and I'll start to grab them and yell at them, voicing, but I know they can't hear me, and I'll start heading toward the airlock, calling them out. I'll try to help up the foreman and move toward that airlock as fast as possible to get out of here and secure it.
Now you're trying to get the airlock, but you're up on the catwalk, and there's a section of broken thing. What are you doing?
Well, where did they come in from? They obviously came in onto this catwalk from somewhere. These medics I'm talking to.
No. They were talking from the ground level.
Oh, from the ground level.
They're looking up to the catwalk.
Oh, okay.
Is anybody up there?
All right.
Okay.
So I'll go over to the foreman. I'll tell him mouthing again. Hopefully he can see me mouthing as loud as possible. We got to get out of here, and I'll bring him over to the. I'll carry him over, and I'll tell him you got to climb down. Got to climb down.
Okay. He looks at you, and his head's swimming. You know he's already lost blood, and he was already half whatever. But you can experience when you're saying things. The air that's trying to come out of your lungs is halfway compromised.
Yeah.
The ventilation system is trying to provide air, but it's being like that. So he looks at you, and then his head just lolls over, and he almost falls off because you're on that terminus to where you ladder down.
Right.
And that's about the levelest part. But he looks at you and kind of nods and grabs a hold of it and misses it, and then halfway slumps over where the exit is onto the ladder. You know what I mean?
I'll check his pulse as I hold my breath, and I'll head to the ladder, but I'll check his pulse, see if he's alive.
Yeah. Well, you see a medic has reached that area where you were about 3/4 of the way up, and he's looking at you. Mm-hmm. And
is he in a vac suit?
That's what I was going to say. It looks like he's not right now, but he's attaching a mass part with a tube coming out.
Okay.
All right. And you can tell, like, on some of the inside, it even has the dust or whatever.
Right. Sure.
But he got it on sufficiently.
I'll help him up. I'll help him up onto the catwalk, so he can help the foreman, and then I'm going to swing around and slide best I can as fast as possible down to the ground floor. So I'm going to grab hold of it, swing around, and if I have to, I'll just kind of drop as I go.
When you reach up and you grab his arms and he tries to reach, he missteps and he hangs for a second. Mm-hmm. You're still able to hold on to him, and then he reorientates himself. Mm-hmm. Pulls up, and that's when all that. I mean, as far as like getting what you intend to do. Yeah. You're sliding down that rope, but you got him out of the way there. Right? Okay. So it's now his problem is essentially what you're telling me as far as getting the guy.
Well, he's a medic with a suit. I'm not. Yep.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, he's got this rope on him, whatever, and you see him cinching up as you're leaving, cinching up the guy underneath his arms or whatever. And as you slide down, you almost see him being lowered down, like right above you as he comes in with your, and lands and slumps, like right after you clear the ladder. Mm-hmm. It's almost like he kicked him off, slid him down real fast.
Okay.
And kind of arrested his fall right before he hit. Mm-hmm. So Kyle kind of like a puppet on a rag doll, and he slumps over, the medic drops him beside him. You're feeling it. You're starting to have blackout moments,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you can see that door, that exit terminus door. That
Yeah, I'm
seems to be
stumbling
closing.
toward it. Yeah, and if I wake up and I'm on the ground, then I'll start to crawl toward it. And
Yeah,
every time I start to get consciousness, I'll keep inching my way toward the door.
You're stumbling toward the door. You can hear the medics already behind him pulling. Over the side, you can see other medics pulling as much as they can. The door is already being shut, almost instantaneous lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
You black out before you get there,
Right.
and then you wake up in the hallway, which is basically been immediately quarantined off as a little triage area, right?
Mm-hmm.
You wake up with some smelling salt.
Mm-hmm.
Your lungs and they're strapping on that oxygen on your mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you see that red flashing in the klaxon lights flashing in the hallway and that door like that, and on the other side of the door, and then they're
Okay.
securing it. And medics are going at it as several of the injured, possibly dead, lay around you, certainly unconscious. But that's what you see.
Okay. I wake up gasping, and then I'll look about me, take it all in, and we'll fade to black there. Give us a few minutes to post-mortem, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So I've still got about 20 minutes or so here before I got to get rolling.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So how'd it feel this time? This is your second in a row. How'd it feel?
Yeah, it felt good. I think to run
I could see you were rolling dice more later.
Yeah, especially when things got accelerated.
Yeah, sure.
To when I needed to know little
Right, every step.
little incidentals, whether something good. And for a long period of time, I was rolling evens. Right.
Right.
It wasn't till the end, because that was why everything was kind of
Sure.
uneventful. You were just interacting with different people.
Sure.
And potentially positive aspects, like seeing Hank.
Yeah.
But I had to roll for him because, like, if you were to determine whether he lived or died, he didn't. The supervisor did, but Maxie was lost.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I kind of made a decision of what happened with Maxie at that time. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, aside from everything, he fell down and like maybe rebar or something like that kind of went through his side. So I don't know if he lived or died. That was going to be something that.
Yeah.
I just knew he had fallen, but I didn't want to make that determination.
Sure.
Whether it was down the shaft or whatever.
Sure.
But it was going to be.
Well, it's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant until I go looking for him. So
exactly.
So here's the thing about role playing. It should be character focused, character central, and Maxie's relevant when I go looking for Maxie. Yeah. If I don't go looking for Maxie, then it's irrelevant to me and to the party. If no one in the party goes, or if I don't go looking for Maxie, then Maxie. Now that doesn't mean you can't have Maxie show up later in the hospital. Somebody else rescued him, but we don't care what's happening.
I really didn't care. It's just like I did a two-step thing though.
Yeah.
Because either you look for him on the mezzanine catwalk. I'm just saying, okay, he's not there. I don't know what happened to him.
Of course, right. Yeah, you are supposed to be.
I just know that he took a fall.
Sure.
And then if you would have tried to look on the lower level, I would have had to roll to see what happened.
Right.
Like either he was pinion or he, on a fail, or either he was still alive or something happened to him, is what I'm saying. So I did that like kind of. In other words, what I'm trying to say is the dice allow me to progressively kick something forward into the unknown in that situation.
Yeah.
He's not here. Where is he? And then we'll find out later on. According to the die roll. But I was using a die a lot to determine negative and positive or potentially positive aspects. Like I said the last time we played, something positive could come back to haunt you in a negative way later on. But it weaves and becomes part of the pattern of the tapestry, the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I think I was definitely I didn't premeditate any of this before going into it.
Right.
Okay, so at least like the last one, I said, okay, we'll have it on here. This, I just literally without. So
Well, yeah, we
everything.
decided 2 minutes before we hit record that you would
Yeah, I'm just saying
GM
that was
and you wanted to do Mars, and I said fine, and yeah, I mean
that's
there is zero prep for these playtests. There's zero prep really, other than what we've already established for our book settings and some locations, which you've done more of. You've basically, I've said before, Space Age of Man is
yeah,
really your baby. You've already conceptualized most of these
yeah,
locations, most of this science fiction. You've written some of it. I've read some of what you've written. So, in that sense, there's already prep from the fact that, you kind of know what
exactly.
yeah, right. And again, because our characters right now are basically a name and a profession. That's all we're doing right now for characters. There may
Yeah,
be more, as we flesh out the details of what we want players to have in session. But right now in these playtests, I'm a name and an occupation. That's it, basically.
yeah. And then and I'll ask you about yours. I
This
think
is
that's
this is
only
truly
slight difference.
improvisational role playing, right?
Yeah. There's, but what did you? I guess the question that I'm wanting to front load with my experience is like the only minute difference I could tell is from this. There's really no prep. Like in Dark Age of Man, Dredgewater or whatever like that. You may not know circumstance or situation, or
Mm-hmm.
you could lead into a circumstance or situation. With this, like before,
Mm-hmm.
when you sent me in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of knew why I was there in general. You didn't know what was going to happen at all.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't really know even the capacity of the profession that I had or why I was there, and
Mm-hmm.
I dropped myself in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to work on it. Same way here.
Yeah.
When I had you running in the belt, I just thought, okay, it's a mining belt and whatever capacity. In the same way, you dropped in as an engineer, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and he's going to be paying attention to these aspects.
Mm-hmm.
That's what his focus is. This is what
Mm-hmm.
we're rolling on.
Mm-hmm.
This here, I said, going to Mars, but I really didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I didn't have no precon. Well, actually, in the one I run before, I didn't really have no. It was um, totally just generated in the moment, moving
Okay.
forward. So I really didn't see. What did you think about it from your perspective as far as player? Because I know you want a different player experience than traditional.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's
In brute
fun.
honesty,
As long as we establish some as long as we establish some scene, some setting, some facts, like we're at Mars, I'm a cop, uh, then whatever you tell me exists in this world, I accept, and then I just move through the space as the character, and yeah, I mean, it's completely improvisational role playing. It's not, and I've said it before. I don't think we'll call Space Age of Man a game. I think it's Space Age of Man a role playing experience. It's not. It's really not a game, so to
yeah,
speak. Um, it's going to
yeah,
be more. It's going to be truly improvisational role playing experience, right?
yeah. And I
With
know that some.
hard parameters for settings, for technology, some
Yeah,
hard parameters written in the chapters, right? What are the
that,
hard parameters that we're in the big city? It's on Earth. This is kind of the, kind of like Dredgewater. We've got our hard cities with our leaders
exactly.
of the cities, etc. So we might have some hard facts that people can read, and then that gives them some scope of idea of what the time and the technology level is and where we're at in this session.
Yeah,
But outside of that, it's truly improvisational role playing experience. The game portion comes from the GM rolling for, again, complications and checking my competency with challenges based on my occupation, based on
yeah.
my profession, whatever that entails, like driving, flying a ship through a storm, or
Or
trying
like
trying
killing
to
the
do fir- trying to
supervisor on
do
the thing.
trying to
Yeah,
do first aid on this
I rolled a
foreman.
4 on that one, so
Right,
you
right. So
sufficiently
yeah,
rested.
and all of that is then going to prompt whether the answer is you stabilized him, or it looks like he's dying. He's going into cardiac arrest, and you go, okay, that's what's happening as I either pass or fail my rolls or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah, and those
I had to make.
complications don't have to necessarily be I fell stabilizing him. They can just be something else occurs, like like the drill slips and goes through the wall and
that was a
compromises
failed
space.
complication.
Yeah.
And what's already been stated before, they could avalanche. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And become like
Yes.
it could snowball.
Right. And
So
as long as I'm in
that works.
character in the space, I trust everything you're saying, and I trust that the fiction won't suddenly change into something it's not.
Yeah.
Right. The genre, the setting, the scene, the fiction won't suddenly be out of. It won't be out of conjunction. Right.
Yeah.
With the rest of the right.
And I think the pacing of it and the back and forth, like when you just said, okay, I get there, I walk it down, and you take certain things like you're following the lines on the floor, like this direction to this area. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
But now that I create that as an efficient way for me to just explain to you how I'm going where I'm going.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I do that to expedite the bullshit conversation between. Well, I want to head over to the thing. I want to get away from questions, and I want to get away from hinting to the GM what I'm trying to do, and more or less instead of saying I think I'm going to head over and talk to the doctor, I'd rather say I'm on my way to the doctor following this because I know I hadn't been here before, so I had to establish a reason how I could go over to the quartermasters. Yeah. Well, that would be signs on the wall. And I described what those signs on the wall look like, and they're painted stripes to quartermaster, like hospitals. If you've ever been in a hospital or if you've ever been in a government building, there's stripes on the walls and the floors. Some schools do this, right? So the blue stripe takes you to administration, the red stripe takes you to the fucking gym, the purple stripe takes you to the cafeteria. So these are all things that I'm creating so I can expedite the whole. The awkward, constant conversation as well. I guess I'll go over to the doctor. Now, if I say it as I'm headed toward the doctor's office, following the lines painted on the walls toward the doctor, that's still a chance, leaves the door open for you to interrupt my traveling from space to doctor. Yeah. As opposed to just saying, as I walk into the doctor's office and say, hey, doc, where I skip ahead to being at the doctor's, that would be wrong.
But you're right. I'm just wanting to point that out for anybody who may be watching as far as and to highlight of how it needs to be done, because either it needs to be drilled up into a scene where it's an important conversation that has to be done, but you don't want to nickel and dime every little thing.
No. So, and I'll be honest. Again, the real challenge here, especially if we're doing improvisational, very low prep gaming, this will be something truly you'll grab it off the shelf and say, let's play some Space Age of Man. Hey guys, let's go chapter 7. That's Mars. Go ahead and think about a couple of character ideas. Jot down your name, your professions, and I'll think real quickly here. Okay, let's go. And boom, set it up. And the players will, you'll put the players in this position or the space. You'll learn who their players are along the way, or maybe you can ask a couple of questions before you start. What are you playing, Joe? You're a miner. Okay. You're a doctor. Okay. And then you'll start to set up the scene, set up the locale, set up the moment of time and space. And then as they move through it, because there's a plan or there's a problem or there's a in media res start or there's just them coexisting in Mars right now, then there'll be complications as they move through space towards something, right? So all of that is it's completely improvisational play. Only the understood chapter of Mars and the level of technology where we might be on Mars. In the Mars chapter, it might say there's the moon, there's the Mars main base, it'll have a name, and you can say that's where we're at right now, so they kind of understand. Or we're at the orbital around Mars, we're in the orbital city around Mars.
Mars base Sarah is,
whatever, right. So, those things are all a given, and that allows, again, improvisational acting, for instance, you generally know the situation. A director will say, okay, it's the winter, you're at a bus stop, it's freezing, and the bus is late. And as an actor, you're like, okay, it's freezing, we're waiting at a bus stop, and the bus is late. I don't even have to tell the director what character am I. Now, a director may also say, by the way, Jason, you're playing an accountant late for work. Sarah, you're playing a single mother who's got to get her kid to daycare, right? And it's the bus is late at a bus stop in the freezing cold. And you begin to improv this scene as actors based on these parameters. Yes. Well, role-playing can be similar, except role-playing, we're attempting to achieve something. We're moving through the space towards some thing, right?
That was a perfect example of what I'm bringing up, the handshake. Like, it's totally within the purview of the player to say, like, I can just, explain what I'm doing, and just the little bits and parts that I'm moving through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't you say I'm walking in a hallway? Well, there isn't a hallway. You don't need to ask about stupid shit like that. So it's a way to expedite to get to the scene it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like when you walk in there and then you're in that main shaft where they're
traditionally
drilling.
the GM walks you through everything and then asks, what would you like to do in this space? And sometimes the GM will not, and then you'll wait for you to tell you what you'd like to do. Everybody in the party says what they'd like to do in this space that they've just set you in. Or there's the awkward GM who also then leaves you hanging as to where you're going to go next, and then you've got to have that awkward conversation. Well, I have to head over to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
If it's not a given that we're headed to the doctor because it's come up in play, then somebody has to awkwardly say, well, I guess, what do you think, guys? We should all head over to the doctor? Okay, we're heading to the doctor. And then they hand it over, and the GM says, okay, as you're heading down the hallway toward the doctor, you notice that's just all traditional gaming. But which can still be done, right? With this improvisational style.
Improvisationally.
But I'm trying to expedite these moments through the kind of stuff. I'm making it easier to transition that I'm headed somewhere. I'm going to the quartermaster. Come on, Max, let's go to the quartermaster. I'm following the stripes on the wall, so you don't have to retcon and say, well, you don't know where the quartermaster's at. I'm trying to make sure that I do know.
Exactly.
I do know where the quartermaster's at. I'm following the fucking signs on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Now, you can retcon that back and say, what quartermaster? Well, I'm a cop. I'm at a police facility. There's got to be somebody who hands out weapons and somebody who hands out, So I'm making some assumptions. And, again, I think... Yeah, but those...
assumptions, because...
Well, those assumptions should push the narrative forward, and then you roll for a complication. That's it. Yeah. So I'm going to the quartermaster, and here's how I'm doing it. And you go, oh, okay, you'll roll the die and say, okay, as you arrive at the quartermaster's, you realize that the door's locked, the lights are off, the quartermaster's not here because you rolled a complication. I go, fuck, how am I going to get my sidearm? Well, Max, it looks like we're going to be hitting the beat without sidearms right now. And we head out.
What's going to behoove anybody is like when it's codified, when it's laid down, you got all the NPCs, you got maybe a schematic or a little bit of layout, like in the town of Dredgewater. You know where Sarah Pratt is, you know where this is. People can have that launching point. Right now, we're literally building a lot of this in real time. You see what I'm saying? So I have to stop and still process. Wait a minute. Okay, there's mine shafts here. It's to the left or to the right. So somebody could be more fleet on their feet as a GM if they have that information. But like the shifting back and forth from like a scene where you delve down and you have a conversation, you don't want to nickel and dime in that manner to get down the hallway. So it could be a handshake, like I said, with the player to say like I'm walking in the hall. But it needs to be like that base of information. Like we have a doctor on base here. We have that. Right. That way you're not grasping.
We're doing a couple of things.
Yeah.
That are in particularly tied to Theater of the Mind gaming. One, Theater of the Mind gaming. There are no maps. There is no predetermined blueprint of the base. That's not to say as a GM you want to prepare something for Space Age of Man and you want to draw up a blueprint, present maps to people at the table. So be it. Right? Nobody says you can't further define the improvisational space, right? But what we are also saying with both Dark Age of Man and these are Theater of the Mind sessions. We must share the space with our players because we're not putting a map in front of them of Dredgewater. I never slide a map of Dredgewater in front of players and say, here's the map. Right, so I have to leave it free for Dell as a character to say, I'm going to head left over to the blacksmith. Okay, fine, you're going left toward the blacksmith. So be it. You've just oriented yourself in space. Left is your left. Left is my left.
I did not mean to say that you follow maps or you.
No. I'm making a point. There are things we're trying to achieve with improvisational role playing experience. One of them. The very first caveat is theater. This is Theater of the Mind gaming. This is not maps. This is not mimes. This is not handouts.
Yes.
Right? I am free to imagine right? And if you say you notice that everybody here in this base is using paper, that cues me that there is no hand pad, there is no handheld devices, and so now we're dealing with whatever reason this Mars police station has all paper shit, right? And whatever that means to me or you or whatever, but you've identified that. That's what it is. So the theater of the mind now is we're sharing that these guys are doing paperwork. Holy shit, that sucks. My character didn't like that at all. So right?
Even on
so there are some major conceits to how you're going to play improvisational role-playing experience, and one of them is theater of the mind, which means you got to leave it open for players to not have to get every little detail right about the location of the barbershop or the location of the quartermaster or the
that's like
and hopefully players can hopefully learn to communicate in such a way that they can prompt that they're headed toward the quartermaster without having to ask, is there a quartermasters around here? Or in character, what a guy would do is say, well, I look at the supervisor and I say, Bill, where's the quartermaster? I want to get my weapon and stuff. And that becomes the awkward conversation between the wasted, inefficient conversation between Bill, the supervisor, and me in character, where Bill says, oh, yeah, just head out the door to the right, which is all pointless because we don't have a map. So we don't need Bill to describe some pointless location of where the quartermaster's at. Right? So we're also recognizing that there's this efficiency of language that can occur that allows us to stay in the headspace without pointless conversation or pointless details that aren't relevant. Right? Would it have been wrong for me in character to look at my supervisor and say, listen, before I go down to the market district, I need to see the quartermaster. And then you would say, oh yeah, the quartermaster, just follow the blue line on the, or whatever. Or you would have said, hey, here's the map, go find the quartermaster, whatever. Or hey, the quartermaster is just right down the hall. And that's it, we move on to the quartermaster. So there's many ways that we can efficiently do this.
We can do that. I'm saying that you can become more fluent and efficient with it if you have springboards and in a book, when you look at, you could say like the information you have, there's a quartermaster, so-and-so is his name, and then people get used to these areas that you can navigate your way through them. Not on a map per se, but